On this channel, we talk a lot about money habits that contribute to a happy, healthy, and wealthy life. But could we build wealth only with a set of daily workflows and routines? Sometimes there is a huge pivot in our life, and we can't measure the effect of the fundamental change instantly. And as I've been having a lot of time for self-reflection during the train rides this summer, I summarized 5 decisions that saved me from being poor. There is a high chance that you can relate to the things I'll be talking about today, so make sure to watch this video till the end and also share in the comments what you think about all of this. My name is Alena and I do weekly videos on happy and healthy financial and lifestyle habits. Make sure to subscribe if you want to improve your life in these areas. So the first decision that saved me from being poor is finishing a dead-end relationship. And it is easy to say now when I look back that it was a dead-end one, but at times when I made a decision, it wasn't obvious at all. A quick story you might relate to. It was my first ever serious relationship, which I entered not in my best shape mentally. Working the job I hate and not being happy with the way I treated myself. The guy who I started dating was very nice to me. In fact, he was the nicest person I've ever met in my life. Before my husband, of course. And it was a very important relationship for me. I learned how it is possible to be treated. I felt right when there was so much respect, care, and willingness to spend as many happy moments together as possible. Still, even though my relationship flourished, all other spheres got pushed back a lot. And I could really see a negative trend in my career, finance, self-improvement, and friendships. Why? So we met when I moved to my hometown for a while during Corona. And when Corona was almost over, my dates didn't want to move back to the capital of the country together with me. In my hometown, the salaries are quite low, there are not so many job opportunities, and even though I was working remotely, his career wasn't flourishing at all and he didn't want to change it. He pushed me to stay in my hometown to be together, and that kept me away from my career opportunities, friends, and financial well-being in the end. I felt that relationship was pushing me back from the person I wanted to become, so I decided to break up. And it was one of the best decisions I've made in my life, because without it, I wouldn't first move back to the capital of the country to pursue my ambitious career, and then I wouldn't move to work in Europe, which improved my financial well-being a lot. Summing it up, if your relationship is pushing you back from the person you want to become, break up. And you will find another one where you feel more accomplished and content as a person. Give this video a like for my honesty and if you can relate to this story. The second decision that saved me from being poor is the fact that I changed my university in my 3rd year of bachelor's. You probably know the feeling when you go to the same place to study every day of the week and you get brainwashed with a lot of disciplines that you will never use in your life. You feel that you're not surrounded by ambitious people. It is easy for you to pass the exams. Well, I spent 2.5 years in that kind of university until I decided to change things. I took a risky decision. I moved to the capital of my home country. I worked really hard to get better at math and passed all the entry exams. I got accepted to one of the best universities in my country to study data science and programming. If I moved right after school, things would have been a lot easier. The more you get into the rut, the harder it is to get out there. And I made this change even after completing 60% of my studies in my hometown. Now, thanks to my decision to change university, I met a lot of cool and clever people that inspired me to work harder and smarter. And when I was presenting my last bachelor's thesis, I met my future employer and got a job which I'm still working at now. What would happen to me if I decided to stay in the comfort zone of my hometown university? Most probably I would earn 4 or 5 times less and would be still living in my hometown. By the way, this week I'm turning 25 and I want to film a video on 25 things I learned by the age of 25. So if you are in your 20s right now, make sure to subscribe to my channel and watch my next video. The third decision I want to talk about is changing the country I live in. It happened this year and I had to urgently immigrate. I tell about this story in more detail in my other video on happiness. In fact, my first ever video on this channel. Watch it if you are interested to learn more about my story. But what I could say for now Deciding to pack our lives in 2 suitcases and leave into the unknown was one of the bravest and hardest decisions I've made in my life. I don't know if I will ever get back to my home country or if I will ever see my family again. That's hard to understand, but thanks to that decision, I didn't lose my ambitious job. I moved to a more stable economy. I now have savings that are not affected by a 2-digit inflation, and I get all of the opportunities of the global world. The first thing which really saved me from being poor is changing my attitude toward luxury goods. I used to crave a luxury bag, a luxury car, and a luxury house. If you take a look at my dream mood board from a few years ago, it would include owning a lot of luxury goods. It was until this summer when I changed my attitude towards luxury lifestyle after reading a book. The book said that luxury is a weakness, and I thought like, whoa, it's so profound. When I really crave luxury things, it means that I want to fill certain gaps. So I used to define myself through the ownership of things. I used to define self-love conditions, like I'm good because I can purchase myself a Gucci bag, or I work well because I can buy myself a fancy house. But that's not true, and for me, I was trying to win self-love with purchasing luxury things, or craving them if I couldn't afford them. Now I think I'm worth a lot more than owning a collection of luxury bags. The way I feel is now the most important to me. Do I like what I'm doing? Do I find meaningful the things that I'm working on? And this attitude brought me a lot closer to financial freedom, as I started spending far less money on luxury things. Still, it's not about avoiding buying the things that you think look pretty or are of a good quality. It's about not trying to define yourself through the price that you pay for purchasing things. Share in the comments, do you dream of luxury goods? And why do you think you are or you are not? And last but not least, I want to talk about leaving the job I hate. I started working full-time when I was in my second year of university, and I changed 2 jobs in 1 year. I entered another position, and from the first days it didn't feel right. And I spent 9 months there because of being scared that changing the jobs quite often would not look attractive to the recruiters. I spent 9 months doing the job I hate. It was again at the beginning of pandemic when I understood that I needed a switch from project management to product management. Product management wasn't really my cup of tea, so I attended product management courses, but still I had no portfolio as a product manager. The job market was at its lowest. A lot of hiring freezes made it completely impossible for a junior without a portfolio in product management to find a new position. Still, I didn't give up after getting around 500 rejections. At the end, I got a job offer and changed my job. And what I can say now is you get so much more energy when you work on the things you find meaningful and the things that you like. You develop a lot faster and eventually get promoted a lot quicker. If I stayed at my previous job, I would probably never get a promotion, or in the worst case, I would get a mental disorder. And that decision to leave the job I hate and not give up on the job search definitely saved me from being poor and feeling miserable. Summing up, when we feel that we are getting stuck and are not living our best life, it's time for a brave change. Comfort zones could be different. The toxic ones could be the most welcoming. And the longer you stay in them, the harder it is to get out. I propose that you think about your current life. Is there a sphere where you feel you got stuck, or things are slowly getting worse and worse? It could be then a sign that a radical change is needed. Not an incremental one via habits, but a brave, radical decision. Trust me, you'll feel so much lighter and free when you push yourself out of this rut. Thanks a lot for watching this video till the end. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel to get more inspiring videos like this. See you very soon. Bye.